As a business grows and changes, so does its aims and objectives. In this video, we'll explore why business aims and objectives change with examples from Sainsbury's. The first reason aims and objectives change is in response to market conditions. If there are changes in market size and the amount of competition in a market, these are market conditions. And these market conditions will change what the business's aims and objectives are, depending whether there's more competition in the market or whether the market's growing as a whole. Sainsbury's operates in the retail market, more specifically food retail. Sainsbury's needs to change their aims and objectives depending on what's happening within this market. If the market as a whole is growing, Sainsbury's will respond to that by having more challenging targets to capture a bigger piece of this market. If the market is declining, then Sainsbury's may set targets just to survive in the current market conditions. Over the past 10 to 15 years, budget retailers such as Aldi and Lidl have infiltrated this market and made it much more competitive. Due to this, you can see that Sainsbury's strategy's changed, and they're trying to compete with Aldi on price with things such as the Aldi price match. This is a change in strategy and a change in their aims and objectives, as they're clearly aiming to compete with these retailers. Aims and objectives also change in response to new technology. Technology changes so rapidly, and businesses need to adapt their strategy and their aims and objectives to keep up with this new technology. Sainsbury's was established in 1869. This was a time before mobile phones, the internet, and even cars. Sainsbury's business model now is totally different from when it started in 1869. A massive part of Sainsbury's business model relies on these technologies: vans for the deliveries and online shopping. Sainsbury's have had to change their aims and objectives to reflect these new technologies, as they've no doubt set targets to increase their presence online, to increase the sales online, and basically adapt to this new technology. The third reason aims and objectives change is in response to the business's performance. Businesses that are performing well will have different targets to businesses that aren't performing well. The business will have to change their aims and objectives depending on how well they're performing. For example, if Sainsbury's is performing poorly, they may set more reserved financial targets than when they're performing really well. A business that's underperforming has got to be realistic and set targets based around survival or tiny increases that move them forward as a business. But if they're performing really well, they may set challenging targets that keep stretching and pushing the boundaries, both in a business sense and financially. Another reason why businesses need to change their aims and objectives is in response to legislation. Legislation is constantly evolving, and that means that the business needs to change their strategy to meet this new legislation. For example, every year the government tends to review how much is paid on the minimum wage. When this minimum wage changes, companies such as Sainsbury's have to abide by that new legislation and pay that new minimum wage. If this new minimum wage is a substantial increase, then it may cause Sainsbury's to review their aims and objectives around staff wages. Sainsbury's employs thousands of people across the UK, so a change in minimum wage will definitely impact how much they spend on wages, and they may need to set new budgets in terms of expenditure on salaries and wages. Finally, businesses may change their aims and objectives for internal reasons. The business may decide on a strategy that takes them in a different direction, which will then change their aims and objectives. It may be that they decide to make a new product, enter a new market, such as a new country, or develop an entirely new strategy that's been decided from within the business. At one time, Sainsbury's had 0 convenience stores, but now they have many across the country. At some point in time, this will have changed the direction of the strategy and the aims and objectives they had. Before convenience stores, they may have had targets to build so many large supermarkets in a certain period of time. But once they changed direction and made an internal decision to focus on convenience stores, they will have then set new aims and objectives aimed at increasing the amount of convenience stores they had across the UK. These internal reasons no doubt changed their aims and objectives to help meet this new target. Ultimately, a business must change their aims and objectives in accordance with what's happening internally and externally. And as the business as a whole changes and grows, so must their aims and objectives. This can clearly be seen from when Sainsbury's started in 1869 to where they are today in 2022. They're a totally different business with different aims and objectives. Thanks for watching the video to the end. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe for more weekly business videos.